All right.
Hi everyone, how are you? My name is Rachel Wiesner and I'm very happy to join you today. Today we're going to talk about food, and food is very important to me and my partner today, Chef Giuseppe. I am happy to say that I am starting my 8th week with St. Camillus just this week, so I'm a newbie. I came from the Bartolotta Restaurant Group. I was there for 10 years, and this campus is extremely important to me, so I'm glad to be part of the team. Food and beverage has been part of my life forever, and it's part of our lives. When I started in the industry, I realized that food is a part of community. Food is integral to not only nutrition, but it tells our story about our heritage. It brings us together as family and as friends. So that's why I'm in food and beverage, and again, I'm happy to be here with you today. So we have a short presentation that will start, and then I'll hand it over to Chef. So again, my name is Rachel, and I am joined here today by Executive Chef Giuseppe, and we'll get started here in just a second.
Okay. It's scrolling.
So the times that we're in, they're interesting, aren't they? As we all have seen on the news, the food and beverage and hospitality industry has really taken a hit. And then by a hit, I mean the norms that we have as an industry have been altered. And what do we do with that? So I call it the COVID effect. One of the reasons that I was brought on board to St. Camillus is to help open up the dining room, but to do it safely, to invite people back to the gathering in the dining room where we can see one another. So the dining room protocol that we put into place in order to do so is the following. If you're not feeling well, please visit us at another time. If you look at the restaurants, even in the city, Wauwatosa, Milwaukee, Brookfield, we're all kind of abiding by the same protocol. Following is sanitize your hands prior to entry. It just helps us build that barrier between anything that's occurred outside of our restaurant to when you enter the dining room. Face masks are required at all times when you're moving to and from the table. So again, inviting folks back into the dining room, we are successful in that if we maintain these 3 protocols, and then of course the 6 feet separation from one another at all times. In addition to that, the second part of what I call the COVID effect is setting us up for success. So how do we set the table for success? Every day before my staff starts, we sanitize the entire dining room. It's part of our success plan. Each table is sanitized prior to guest arrival. So that includes sanitation, laying down a fresh linen, silverware, and a napkin roll-up. We are not setting the table as a traditional setup that you'd find in restaurants. We are simply rolling the silverware and providing it in a sanitized manner at the table. We also are providing single-use condiments and disposables. So what does that look like? Unfortunately, there is no pepper grinder at the table. The salt shakers have been removed, and things like single-use creamers, sugars, and salt and peppers are put on the table as well. You will also find that in the dining room, all of our staff members are asked to wear masks at all times. I'm in the hospitality reason for a business. I'm a people person. It's who we are and it's what we do. And again, going back to what does food do for us, we want you to be our guests. So in order to provide that hospitality back into kind of a rigid new environment, we want you to be our guests in the following way. We are only taking reservations. So that helps us control the amount of people that come into the dining room and especially at what time. We can successfully say that we can manage the 6 feet distancing at the host desk and upon entry as well. So reservations are taken between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. daily. There is a maximum of 4 people per table. How the tables are set up, we have successfully built a floor plan that allows for 6 feet distancing, and to better control that distancing, we are only allowed to have 4 people per table. Currently, because of the governor's orders, we are allowed to have a 28 maximum guest capacity. What that is the current state of 25% of our maximum pre-COVID capacity. If the governor's orders are denied and on Monday they rule, we will be able to go back to the 65 maximum guests per evening, which is the pre-governor's orders. It's interesting. What we're finding is about 10% of the total residents in San Camilo are joining us in the dining room. About 10%. So if you average that, we have about 260-ish residents. So we're averaging just less than 26 to 20 residents per evening. 95% of those people are repeat customers. And I think that's a product of people's comfort level, just seeing how we do, getting the bugs out and just vetting out the process, and that's A-okay. We are still offering delivery services, and the numbers that we're finding is 25% of our deliveries occur during the lunch hours, and 75% of the deliveries are for dinner. This is one of my absolute all-time favorite quotes. "There are no strangers here, only friends you haven't met yet," by Yeats. What does that mean? What does that have to do with dining? So what we observed is, the norms of the dining room pre-COVID were after mass, guests would line up at the front door and they would wait in line to get their tables. And it was just natural, and it was the norm, and it was habitual. And what COVID did is it kind of shook everybody up. It shook us all up and said, well, what's important to us now? How can I better integrate myself into the community? How do I meet new people and things like that? So community dining is something we are really highlighting, and something I'm actually pretty proud of that we are finding great success in. So when you call to make your reservations, you'll be asked by one of my staff if you care to join anybody else. If you are a single person or a couple and you say, you know what, let's meet some new friends. That's a question you'll be asked when you make a reservation. So it's an opportunity to meet new residents. We've had a couple dozen folks move in during COVID, and they've unfortunately not had a great opportunity to meet fellow residents. So this is one of those opportunities. It's also an opportunity to reconnect with old friends. How great is it on a Friday night to come down for a fish fry and join friends you haven't seen in a long time? It's also an opportunity to dine with somebody you haven't met yet. We have a lot of residents that say, you know what, my wife and I are going to come down and we don't care who we sit with, put us with whoever. And that's what we do to create that kind of cool communal environment. You also obviously have the ability to have a quiet night alone by yourself or with a guest, and we're happy to provide that option as well. So the one thing that didn't exist when I started is that the dining room at San Camilo didn't have a name. Everybody would refer to it as the dining room. And I'm like, well, that's great. That is exactly what it is. But who are we? What's our identity? So Chef and I talked at long length, and we came up with the name Cuisine Americana. Now, what does that mean? Cucina in Italian means kitchen. We're paying homage to the origin of the Order of St. Camillus, residing in Italy. So it's also an homage to Chef Giuseppe, who you'll meet in a little bit, but understanding the fact that we are in America. It's a great gathering of ideas from across the sea and from here at home. So what we've developed is a standard. What is the menu at Cuisine Americana? You will find traditional favorites like soups and salads. We upped our game, and we are now offering 2 soups every day. Chicken noodle soup is a tried and true favorite, so that is offered every single day. And then Chef Giuseppe is also offering a daily soup. Daily specials will rotate daily, weekly, seasonally. So things like lasagna or something from a Chinese dish or an Indian dish or something as traditional as just simply chicken with rice and broccoli. We also have classics that are available every single night. So you can get something comfortable like a hot dog, grilled cheese and a cup of soup, or a BLT. Those are the kinds of classics you'll find every day. Along with that, we are going to offer a wide variety of sides. 3, for example, are cottage cheese, French fries, and onion rings. So you can really personalize and tailor your dining experience in the dining room with all these different options. The desserts then, we are going to have tiramisu daily. It's one of my favorites and chef's favorites. We also have daily desserts, so that will rotate again seasonally. So we'll try some new things out with the daily dessert specials, and then we'll have a variety of ice cream. We understand that there is a wide variety of not only dietary restrictions and needs, but sensitivities as well. So in my coming on board and working with my friend, Chef Giuseppe, we are really trying to hone in on those special needs. So looking at, a line of diabetic items, low sugar items, things like that, gluten-free, gluten-light, and things like that. Beverages available every day in the dining room are also beer, wine, soda, juice, coffee, tea, and milk. So as you can see, there's a wide variety of things that we can offer. The food is why we come down. The community is who we join, and I'm happy to pass the presentation off to Chef Giuseppe so he can show you the most important part, which is the food. Cheers.
Buon pomeriggio a tutti. Vi do il benvenuto al San Camino. Welcome to San Camino, everybody. So I know with the COVID, what, then if I take my mask out, better. With the COVID, most of the people like Rich has said, only 10% spend time in the dining room. As you want more people, you know what I mean? And see different kind of residents enjoy with us. So I try and make it a little bit, something you enjoy in the room. So very simple, healthy. So I have here a little bit, spinach. So then I have a banana, apple, strawberry. So I put a little bit, cherry tomato too. Why not? So what I can do is I make a little bit smooth. So I have my blender in my back, so it's very easy. So I put in my blender, just a little bit spinach, not too much. So I have a couple strawberry, then one banana. So because the rich are talking about, healthy food, diabetic. So that's very, like you say, you go shopping, you have a fruit in your room, spinach, apple. So whatever, leftover I have, I want to go next after I make it smooth. And maybe I have here, my friend Renao, she helping me, marketing lady. So, all right. So one nice apple, and actually like 2 pieces of cherry tomato, inside. Oh, I'm sorry I made a mess. All right. Cherry tomato. So then I put it a little bit, just a little bit water, not too much. You know what I mean? A little bit. So close it. My blender. So everything is done. And what do you have? You have here the nice smooth here. So you guys enjoy. That's very healthy because I put a banana for potassium, spinach, iron, strawberry, cherry tomato. So that's everything, very nice. You in the morning wake up, you do in afternoon. If you want to, you put a little bit of ice, blend the ice so to make it cold. So I want to taste it. Oh my God, it's very good. Yeah, enjoy it. So next, what I can do, like acid by spinach, okay, and have leftover spinach. So what I do is, I make a nice salad, you know what I mean? So spinach. So what I said, I buy to strawberry too. So what you can do is, put a couple strawberry around, you know. So, and then cherry tomato. So a couple cherry tomato. 1, 2. Here. So if you want to put a little bit more strawberry here. And when I do it, when I make it now, I make it, you know, a little bit dressing. So I put olive oil here. I have here a little bit garlic, fresh basil. So I put a little bit basil, and then final I put a little bit like balsamic vinaigrette. So the balsamic vinaigrette, I blend a little bit of my dressing. And I put my dressing and my, you know, my sauce. A little bit, not too much. So what I do before, I grill a little piece of chicken. So if you put a little piece of chicken on top, and with the dressing I'm making, you know, olive oil, balsamic, and fresh basil. So you have a final, you know what I mean, salad, and you enjoy it. Like I said, I buy like in a grocery store, a little bit spinach, a strawberry, fresh basil, you know what I mean, cherry tomato. I make it smooth, and you have this kind of stuff. I want to make it, I want to share it with my resident when I do the tomato sauce. Today I serve in the menu spaghetti meatball. So usually for the tomato sauce, that's the product I use. Tomato, and that's a San Marzano tomato. Why I use this kind of tomato? Because this tomato is very sweet. I think I told you multiple times, it's very sweet and have a nice, I have it here, so look like a nice cream sauce. So what I can do it, I have the blender. Where is the blender? The other one is clean. Oh, here, here it is. So I put a couple piece tomato. So it's easy to make like a tomato sauce. I put a fresh basil here. I have here chopped onions, a little bit chopped onions, and I put a little bit pepper, salt, just a little bit salt. How you control like this kind of tomato usually doesn't have a lot of acid. But just in case, for you control the acid, what you gotta do it, you gotta put it just a little bit, not too much. A little bit sugar, just a little bit. So when I blend that stuff, so I put a little sauce. When I do it, I got everything in a pot, put on the stove, warm it up. So when I finish with everything, I have my spaghetti here and my tomato sauce. You see the tomato sauce? It's coming like this. So then you have the spaghetti, and you put the tomato sauce on top of the spaghetti. The decoration, you put a nice fresh basil. So I hope you guys enjoy. My pleasure today, you know what I mean? Share with you a little bit, you know, recipe so you guys enjoy in a room. But for me, more important, you guys come to the restaurant. Enjoy with me in the restaurant. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. God bless everybody. And my pleasure. Bye-bye.